Foster parents kicked me out at 18 for a new placement, while their own adult son stays rent-free at home. I, 18 male, was told earlier today that I need to pack up and leave by the end of the week. I still feel in shock. I was removed from my biological family when I was 7 due to issues with my parents. I was then placed in foster care and then matched with a couple who I will call the Peters. It's not their real name, no matter how much I actually want to blast their real info I won't. The Peters were always really nice to me, and since I moved in when I was pretty young after a while I started to consider them my parents. I called them mom and dad. Treated them as my parents, treated their biological son as my brother. I wasn't their only foster child, they also have a 9-year-old boy who has lived with us for a little over a year. I was never adopted by them. I know why, because they live off the fostering allowance. Something that never really bothered me. They told me that it didn't matter and that legality didn't make us a family. Which I believed. I went on their agency website earlier today and I found out that they are getting paid at least £2,400 for me per month. Or at least they were. Since I turned 18 they stopped getting the allowance. However, they applied for a staying put arrangement for me, which meant they would continue getting paid something as they continue to support me and let me live with them. It wasn't as much, I think it was like £1,000 per month. They told me they had it approved until I was 21, so I thought I'd be able to stay at least until I finished uni. They sat me down today and told me I had to leave. They told me that fostering is a business and that they couldn't afford to keep me on just the stay put arrangement allowance. They told me I had until the end of the week. 4 days. How generous of them. They said they need my room because they want to get a new foster placement. They literally told me it's not personal. Like hat makes me feel any fucking better. They said they would still consider me like a son, not their son anymore. Like a son, and that they want to keep in touch. What a joke. They choose to kick me out. An 18-year-old with no job. No income. No nothing. About to start university. Yet their bio son who is 25 gets to stay? So yeah. I guess fuck me, right? I'm just the one no one ever wanted. I guess I wasn't ever truly part of their family. Update 1. Honestly, I was in a state of shock yesterday, maybe still am today. I wasn't thinking straight. I only slept 2 hours last night, that's also I'm probably a little delirious today as well. Firstly, I have contacted my personal advisor, he'll having an emergency meeting with me at 1:30, so I'll have more details about what's going to happen to me then. He'll hopefully be able to sort out emergency accommodation for me. Secondly, to those of you saying the Peters can't legally just give me 4 days notice to leave, I will definitely be mentioning this to my PA and get his advice on it. I don't want to stay here any longer than I need to because since they told me it's like I don't exist. They just look right through me. But I'm not going to move out until I have safe accommodation for me, I will outright refuse. I am not going to be made homeless. Thirdly, those of you saying contact my uni, I have an offer from them but it's only conditional if I get my predicted A-levels. Hopefully I will, but since I'm not technically a student yet, I don't know if they will actually provide any support yet. Finally, I am also going to ensure that the staying put allowance stops. I will tell my PA today that it should surely be stopped if I'm not living with them. Luckily I have some money saved. Some people here have said I should be entitled to a bursary when I start uni, and I'll have my maintenance student loan to help me. I've already started looking for a job. Update 2. Basically I had a big long meeting with my PA, and he was very sympathetic and felt upset that the Peters are treating me this way. We had one meeting and then I went to get food while he spoke to the Peters directly and then I came back to meet him again to let me know everything that has happened. He's putting me on the list for social housing. I am hopeful that it will not be long until I am able to get my own house. I recorded the meeting because I'm so sleep deprived and also I have really bad memory processing for long things like that because of my dyslexia/autism or something, I'm not sure. I can listen to it again tomorrow after I've slept, but from what I gather they will help me with paying for rent costs. I will also get some money to help pay for furniture and things like that. When he spoke to the Peters, I don't know if he said they had to keep me housed for a while or asked them to, I'm not sure. But they've agreed to keep housing me until the end of August. So at least I don't have to worry about everything happening in 3 days' times. He did tell me that if I feel uncomfortable I can be moved into a youth hostel place while they wait for a property to be available for me. But I said if I can I would rather stay with the Peters until I am ready to move. Even if it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. He told me they will continue getting paid the staying put allowance until the day I officially move out, and then it will be stopped. On a completely separate note, my best friend and I had a huge argument earlier. He said that I'm being ungrateful and honestly what he said really hurt me. We had a huge argument. I just thought out of everyone he would get me and understand what I was going through. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being unreasonable. I am really tired, so maybe my emotions are just not being controlled well at the moment. I am going to talk to him tomorrow after I've slept and I'm hoping this argument will just blow over because I need him at the moment. I don't feel like I have anyone else. Update 3. I want to put everything behind me. Claire rang me crying. Saying she had no idea I felt like this. How? How could she not know? She said she was sorry and begged me to come back. God. How do I ruin everything? She was telling me all these things about how she regrets the past few days so much and wishes she could take it all back. I said this is not fair. She cannot throw me out and then call me crying. I said it's manipulative. She just kept saying sorry. She said she loves me and wants me to come home. Jesus. This is just a lie, right? She must have known. Am I the bad person here? I feel so confused I don't know what to do. I just hung up and then she started texting me and I blocked her. But now I feel like I'm the bad person here. I'm so tired of this. Of all of this. I want nothing to do with any of them. I don't think Reddit is good for me. I'm not sure any of this is good for me. When I brought up my concerns about them potentially doing the same thing they did to me to another child, I was told they were going to be given extra guidance and support when children reach 17-18 and ensuring everyone is on the same page about staying put orders. That's it. Nothing else. Extra guidance. That's all. Extra guidance. Is that even a slap on the wrist? My PA told me that they were unfortunately within their rights to ask me to leave after I turned 18. I said about how they told me it was a business decision and they told me that unfortunately financial does come into decisions like this. Is that all I am, a financial decision? Does this system seem fair to anyone? I feel like I'm losing my mind. There should be more of a punishment for them. I'm not saying they should be banned from fostering again. I don't know. I still feel all in a tizzy, my mind just going crazy. Update 4. It's been a little while since my last post. I'm not sure why I'm even posting now. I'm just feeling really depressed today and I should be feeling happy. I want to get this out the way first. You may have noticed I deleted everything on here. That was intentional. I want to move on. I haven't had any contact with any of the Peters family since Jamie and I had our argument. I don't want anyone to interact with Jamie if he posts more. He is just attention seeking. If people have a copy of what Jamie wrote, I would appreciate it if you deleted them / didn't share them anywhere. The stuff he shared about me, it was just to hurt me. It was some of the most shameful things I ever did, so I can understand if you don't want to support me after you read what it. If you do feel that way, just know I'm really sorry for what I did as a child. It isn't who I am now, and it wasn't who I was then. I'm sorry if I hurt or mislead anyone. That wasn't my intention. The Peters have a new foster child already living with them. I mentioned this before, but when I said I wanted it on their record that they tried to kick me out with no notice, I was told they would be given extra guidance if they have a child living with them start the process to aging out. I'm in two minds because honestly I feel like that is just a slap on the wrist and thing else. But at least someone will be watching over them in the future when one of their other foster children gets to 18. I have some good news today. My PA got in contact with my first choice university, which is also the uni he went to, and he somehow got them to convert their conditional offer into an unconditional offer, which means no matter what grades I get from my A-levels I get to study there. I don't even know how he managed to do it. I am so grateful for it. He's also got them to explain all the support I get as a care leaver, which is great. They're giving me free accommodation for the first year, which has released a huge stress for me because I had no clue how I was going to get to uni each morning, and they're going to lower the passing grade boundaries for me in my first year, though I hope I won't need this. I want to be getting good grades, and they're giving me a starter pack of important things I will need for my first year. Even though all those good things are happening for me, I just don't feel happy. I'm trying not to show it, but I actually really worried about starting uni, and I used to have the Peters to help me, and Claire especially used to give me a lot of emotional support. I really feel like I'm missing part of myself. I feel stupid saying this, and you guys are probably going to tell me it's stupid, but I just went the other day and watched the Peters house from afar. They didn't know I was there, but I could see into the living room window and they were just acting normal, and the new foster child was there also. I literally sat there for a few hours just watching. I really want to go and speak to them, but I know it's a bad idea. I shouldn't want them back, but I do. I feel really isolated, which is probably why I've come back here to post. Oh, and I do not give my consent for any person to re-upload this or anything else I posted on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube. My first few posts have been uploaded to TikTok and Facebook and have like over 250k views. It makes me feel sick that people are using me as a tool to make money. I know this probably won't stop any of them, but if anyone sees them out in the wild, no, I do not support it. I don't care about this anymore. You can post it if you want, I wasn't even planning on posting from this account again. I haven't posted in almost 2 weeks and have no way of contacting the Peters, but they clearly watch this account. So I just want to put out there that I will not be scared into silence. I will not be threatened or bullied. If I want to speak my story, I will. I have not named any individual or family in any of my posts. None of my posts have been lies, and I have always spoken only from my own perspective. I don't know why you've sent this letter to me, but I assume you're feeling empowered by the fact that my official complaint went nowhere. However, I want to remind the Peters that I have a screenshot of the post Jamie wrote about me on Reddit, exposing my legal first name and confidential and private information about my life. I did not include this information in my initial complaint, but you know as well as I do if I choose to pass that on you will be in deep shit. I don't want to be part of your lives anymore. You clearly do not want to be part of mine, so let's just leave it there. Do not try to threaten me again, otherwise I will expose everything I can. I will write a whole fucking book about my experiences in care and publish it if that's what I want to do. I have done truly awful things that I just want to forget, but I can't. All your support over the last month has meant so much to me, and I don't think I would be here writing this today without it. I have done awful things in my past, really awful things. Things I am so ashamed of. I wish more than anything I could change my life. I wish I could alter the things I've done. People hear my past and they think I am some monster, some unfeeling freak. Many at the time I was, I don't know. The truth is I don't deserve all the love you guys give me, I don't deserve any of it. And no matter how I try to move forward, I know someone will always be there to remind me of my mistakes. It's so embarrassing people talking about your trauma all the time, and I know I started it by posting here. I wish I never did. I am starting to think maybe I'm having a psychotic break. I am really worried about myself. I hope you people understand that the things I did, that person, it wasn't me. It wasn't who I am now. I don't expect people to forgive me because what I did to innocent people and animals is unforgivable. I am going to log off this account after today, and I don't think I will log back in again. It's too embarrassing seeing your past mistakes brought up again and again and again. I just want to be left alone and forget any of this happened. Update 5. It's my birthday today, 25th of October, I'm 19. I'm just having a relaxing evening. I might order myself an Indian later, but I'm not sure yet. This is my first birthday without the Peters since I was 7. All of the Peters messaged me happy birthday today, as if I was just what? Going to forgive and forget and message them back? I probably should block them all, but they message me occasionally, and as unhealthy as it is, I enjoy reading those messages. I don't know if the Peters still monitor this account, but they sent me a letter from a solicitor's telling me I had to stop posting about them. I am calling them on their BS though. University is going well for me. I am finding it hard, I won't lie to any of you. But I am enjoying it. I've made some friends on my course, but mainly with those who are living in my halls. I have my reading week this week, and I'm planning on getting ahead for my first assignment, which isn't due until January. But I thought better to have it done earlier rather than later. I have a date next Wednesday. We're going to see Joker 2, although I have heard it's really bad. And I am hopeful about that. I've been on one date with him before, last week, and I really had a good time, the best time I've had in ages. He paid last time, so I guess it's my turn to pay now? I don't really know how it works, but I think that's right. I wasn't allowed to date when I was living with the Peters, so this is my first time. I'm not sure why I thought I was having a psychotic break last time I posted, but I suppose it was just because of stress. I wasn't, and I am feeling a lot better now in general. It's kind of embarrassing that I thought I was having a psychotic break. I hope you guys don't judge me too harsh for it. Lol, this is actually going to be the last time I post on this account, at least for a while. I might come and update you guys in a year if you guys want that. I'm not sure if you would even remember me then, but I like using this space to talk and vent when I need it.
I can't remember if I mentioned this, but in my A-levels I got A. I was so proud of myself.
I'm currently watching the Agatha All Along show on Disney+, although I pirate it. Disney doesn't need my money, and I am very excited for the finale on Halloween next week. People recommend some other TV shows or books to read. Someone said for me to watch Lost, but I've heard mixed things about it. I really fought with my PA to get visits with Levi, who was the 9-year-old foster boy who lived with my at the Peters that I mentioned in my very first post. The Peters tried to block it at every chance they got, but I reached out to his social worker personally, who's a really decent guy, and he managed to get it pushed through for me. It's on Monday the 28th, and I am very nervous about it. It will be the first time I've seen him since I moved out, but I think the Peters will also be there at least to drop him off and pick him up. Which is going to be really nerve-wracking for me. I think they expected that I would just give up after they tried to block it so much, but I didn't, so I can't back out now. Now on to second story. Partner and I reconsidered our future after friends' intense wedding vows revealed a deeper love we didn't yet share. My partner and I have been together for more than 3 years. He is not perfect, but he is purely and genuinely good, curious about the world, honest, very intelligent, very caring. I do not doubt that we feel love for each other. We went to a friend's wedding together, and honestly, the vows the couple said were so intense and true and honest. I am not speculating. We both have known this couple and we know that their words are not wedding performance. They are way too cynical to play something up for a wedding, that it left me wondering whether I could say those things about or anyone. It made me think, wow, love, like that exists? Where two people can really say they want 100 forevers with the person standing in front of them. Between the wedding and now, I bottled up these feelings because I was already feeling stressed out about my work probation, but last night we met up for dinner and we both agreed that we are wondering if this relationship is still something we both want, and that we were both freaked out by the wedding vows. Think, that episode of Master of None with the Italian wedding. Between the wedding and pre-dinner convo, when I was thinking about ending things, it felt like the right call because he stopped being super communicative and it helped me peel away, but since, of course, it turned out it was him thinking things over too, and we both are on the same page about the things that are lacking, intentionally, more sex, among other factors. I feel like it could be worth it to give it another shot given we've been through so much together and we hold each other so dearly and care deeply for each other. Can this deep care though turn into sprightly attraction again, and the giddiness of the first few months? I love him, he loves me, but we are unsure if we can confidently say we can see our forevers together right now. But we love each other and we struggle to envision how I can function without his presence given that we have grown so attached and enmeshed in each other's lives. We don't live together, but he is my person at the moment, if that makes sense, and we live in a huge fast-paced city, think NY or London, where it's hard to make connections, friends, or date. I feel like we have a good thing going, but I don't know if I would ever feel like saying forever. Does this mean continuing it is a waste of time? What do we do? I feel so scared of making the wrong choice, especially because of my intense job and feeling like if I'm not with him, who is my comfort and person, I will just be an anxious mess alone. I feel like we can fight for this, but it's like, are we fighting for mediocrity? Or are we fighting for something that can be made into a forever? Or a secret third thing? I don't know. Edit, I do have friends, I just haven't developed very deep friendships in this city, living here for the past 2 years, to feel like I have the adequate support community to help me through a potential breakup this intense. It was the second wedding. The first was a family member who has been with their so for like 15 plus years, so it was more of a formality wedding and not as big and bashful as this one. I really appreciate this answer. I do have friends and hobbies and interests I keep up, I just feel like I would still feel a big hole without him even with my nourishing of the other parts of my life. We, me and so, don't even live together. I live with 2 friends that I know will be there for me. It's just tough to envision the break basically. Update 1. We are now going to take a step back from the relationship. I want to work on it and bring the spark back in, but he wants space to think about whether he even wants to try with me at all. So, it wasn't just about the wedding vows for him. I feel so heartbroken because he was bottling up a lot of issues he felt were present but did not tell me about, or if he did, didn't stress they were make or break. I feel like these issues were or so workable, but instead of communicating with me about them and how important they were, he's now pointing towards them as a sign that we are incompatible as long-term partners. I think this is an avoidant attachment style thing. He says the relationship can be saved and that he loves me very much and that he still is attracted to me, but he is unsure whether he wants to work on the relationship at all given that we are so young, and he's got new things going on. He just started a PhD and is meeting new people, which I suspect is making him think there's no room for me or our relationship in his life in the me way anymore. He voiced that we have jumped into serious partnership too quickly and that he wants to have a normal 20s relationship. The fact that he is thinking about our relationship of more than 3 years is something so disposable, and that I need to be just okay with him taking a step back from it all kills me. In fact, it seems irrational to me, although love and relationships never are, since I know he wouldn't lie to me about loving me, thinking it's salvageable, nor being attracted. If there's love and hope and attraction, why not try? I feel like an idiot because I could react to all of this in a okay, if you're not 100% sure you want me then fuck you. I'm leaving and I don't want you 10 times more way, but instead I'm approaching it in a okay, I will take this period with an open heart and be the best version of your partner and hold out hope you choose me again. The second option is torturous given that it is me holding out, choosing to maybe get seriously hard if he ends things, and also makes me feel anxious throughout the day as I am in constant fear that he's got the power to say I don't want this, actually. I wish he'd say let's try again instead. Oop, damn, yeah it's hurting myself for ambiguity and insecurity. Don't want to do this for much longer.